One of the best things I like about creating news videos are the interesting people I meet. I recently interviewed John Nugent, the producer of the Rochester Jazz Fest that brought 170,000 people to town and added $34 million to the local economy. So here's my interview with the very interesting, talented, and amazing promoter, John Nugent.
Well, there's a lot of people that, as promoter, you talk to in the industry. I have a lot of colleagues that are in Canada and Europe, of course in New York City and California and LA and Hollywood. And you know from what's going on in the trends of the music industry who's hot, who the star artists are. However, there are a lot of the emerging artists that submit materials directly to me on request. So we have bands that I'm aware of, artists that I'm aware of, but sometimes they come upon a new sound or they make a new record or write a new tune that sends them off into the stratosphere. Esperanza Spalding is a great example this year.
You are black gold.
Nora Jones, in December of 2001, I received an advanced copy of her Blue Note Come Away With Me record from the label directly to me, before she had done any bookings, before she'd become popular. And I heard the record and I thought, this is an artist that is going to go places. I just thought that. I didn't know that. I'm really not a star maker. All the publicity that went behind her, she booked at the Jazz Festival for June 2002. By the time end of March, early April came around, she just was on all the television shows and became a big star and played across the street here from a Java's coffee shop at Max of Eastman Place. And now she's coming back to play in the big hall 10 years later.
Don't know why I didn't come.
Then I actually just had lunch with this man a couple weeks ago, George Wein, who was the founder of the Jazz Festival. I went to George's house for lunch in Manhattan and I asked him about when he did his first Newport festival. He says, John, we had everybody on the festival back then. We had Sly and the Family Stone, we had Duke Ellington, we had Chubby Checker, we had Fats Domino, we had Ella Fitzgerald. And I said, well, that really speaks volumes, George, because you can have all kinds of creative improvised music on a festival, right? And he totally agreed with me. This is a guy who's in his late 80s. So to me, if it's creative, it's improvised, it's got some integrity, and there's some tradition in the foundation of the music that's being played, you can present it on a jazz festival. And so diversity, I like to say there's something for everybody in the International Jazz Festival here in Rochester. You're coming with your club pass for sure. This is a discovery trail, right? And you have 12 venues now that you can go to, starting all the way over at Abilene, Harrow, through the Big Ten, the Lutheran, the Christchurch, Jazz Street here with Kilborn, Max, Montage, Xerox. Don't start at the same place every day. That's one piece of advice, because keep in mind it's a value pass. The more shows you can go to, the more value you're going to get out of your pass. I would suggest starting at different places each day. If you don't know the artist, don't worry about it. Go hear them. Because it's not who you know, it's who you don't know. And that's the bottom line when it comes to discovery and emerging artists. You never know. As I said, I'm not a star maker, but I like to pick talent and bands that I would personally want to play with as a musician myself. Do they ever want to come back? I mean, how would you feel if you got off a plane, you've never played in the United States of America, you walk into a church and there's 600 people, mob, standing ovation for your music, and you've never played in this country? You'd be pretty uplifted. These Europeans, the Scandinavians, the British guys, they leave here, they go back and they're raving to their arts councils, they're raving to the media. There's a lot of venues in downtown Rochester that we have not used yet, yes. There are a lot of hidden venues that people don't even know about. That could be fabulous. I can't go on the record yet, but in time we'll have some very cool things to announce.